This was bonsaied by cattle and weed whacker for a long time. And so it's in a pasture, and this was an elm stump that got hit with the mower.
No pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. No social ladder to climb around here. No.
And Gary says that the aficionados like to look at the trees after they've lost their leaves.
Yeah, as deciduous trees.
See the real.
Then you can see the real form of them.
So the pyracanthus that we did at the first time I was there, will they lose their leaves?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on There's two types of pyracanthus. That's not a tree I'm that familiar with. I don't remember if they lose their leaves or not. But most trees that are deciduous, not all of them lose their leaves. Not all conifers lose their leaves either.
Yeah.
How old would you guess that?
Oh, I know. That tree is probably 20 years old. This tree is probably older than that one.
Really?
I've been working on that tree for over 5 years. It was collected by a friend of mine who's a professional collector. This came out of Colorado. And I haven't cleaned this one up for winter yet.
So what do you think happened? That it came up and then it got in the snow or something?
This was out of a rock pocket. This tree was probably collected for 9,000 feet elevation.
Yeah.
Really tough. I study with a professional who studied in Japan, and he and I have been working on that for 3 years. This was also a collected tree. This one came out of Idaho. Well, actually the southeastern Oregon-Idaho border. And this is live, and this is dead. That was natural. Now this I created this here, but this is all natural. I created this here.
And then, do you call this Jin then?
Yeah, this is called Jin, and this is called a Shoddy.
What did you do? Just split it?
I just took out my aggression.
Okay.
You want it to look natural. You want it to look like it was broken by nature. In general, is not going to get much of a bigger trunk. If you want a big trunk, make sure it's already there. That, in general, when you start putting bonsai in bonsai pots, the trunk and the character of the trunk, what it is going to stay that way.
The character is there.
The character is there. You cannot change that.
Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you. That's very good for me.
It is better once you start doing bonsai for real to start with something that already is. The trick is to find out, to recognize it when it's not hasn't been shown to you or hasn't been revealed. That's the trick about being a bonsai. You have to be able to see things as they will be in the future, and then you have to work. If you look at this tree really from this direction, you can see we've got great movement here.
Right.
And this up here has no movement. It doesn't fit. So from a bonsai perspective, I don't want that. Well, first idea would be cut it off. But man, there's a lot of growth up there, and you can make a tree out of that.
Sure.
So what I did is I made a layer that's got roots in it right now. I could conceivably cut that off right here and plant it in the ground and grow.
So what do you do with an air layer? Do you disrupt the bark?
Yeah, you completely ring the bark, you go through the cambium layer into the solid wood, and separate it about ½ inch, 3/8 of an inch to ½ inch, and then just either put a hormone on it for some species and wrap it in wet sphagnum moss, and that's it.
What's your journey like as a walker, as a...
Something jumps out at me, smacks me upside the head.
Well, okay, so take me on a day journey through on that Idaho.
Let's look. When you're looking for trees, there's two things you look for. Number one is collectability. So they have to be in a straight where the roots are growing so you can get most of the roots. And I'll talk about that just a little bit more. And the second thing is looking for something that you can make a bonsai out of. This is also a collected tree. And there's a lot of them. This was done by the same guy who did that other one. A guy by the name of Randy Knight. Came same out of Colorado somewhere. He won't tell me where.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of stuff that I collect, is here. And I
Yeah.
look for character. I look for
Yeah.
deadwood. I look for something that's speaking a story.
Yeah.
I don't care at all about the foliage, other than the fact that I want the tree to be healthy,
Yeah.
if possible. Okay? So I'm looking for character in the wood, in the structure of the tree. I think that if I reduce this thing down, I think I can make a pretty decent tree on this. And plus, a lot of these smaller branches are bendable. I can move them around.
Yeah.
I prefer not to, because God does a much better job than we do. If I can use those terms without offending anyone.
Yeah, no, you can. This part of it is very interesting to me.
The collecting?
The collecting and how to.
I've been
Yeah.
collecting on and off now for what, about 10 years? I'm just now getting confident in
Yeah.
my collecting ability.
Yeah.
I collected about 6 trees. Now, in general, I do not get upset if I don't find a tree.
Right.
Because the trees, I almost use the adage that the Eskimos use. If a tree presents itself and is collectible, you should take it. But if it's not collectible, it hasn't presented itself, you shouldn't take it because it doesn't want to be collected. Now, I collected that tree mostly because it was collectible. In other words, it was right on a rock pocket. I stuck the shovel up underneath it, against the rock underneath it, lifted it up, and the whole thing came out. With very little
This one?
disturbance. That is a nursery tree.
Or this one?
This is a spruce.
That's the one that you saw and just,
Yeah, it said, okay, take it, and how I'm gonna make a bonsai out of it, I'm not sure. I'm starting to see some cascadey stuff. This branch may stay, it may go. This branch, I'm seeing all this movement, doing this, and I'm doing some crazy stuff. Didn't get quite as much roots as I'd like, but not too bad. Then we bring it down and stick it in. This is my soil. This is what it looks like. This is a mixture of akadama, lava, and pumice.
So, and you don't knock the dirt off?
No, I leave the dirt there. Whatever dirt's there stays there,
Right.
and I'll show you that. Now, when I put this as a bonsai, I like this so much. And this is, to me, so beautiful. If I can get this thing on a slab and just leave it just like that and take some of the chaos out of it, this will be a beautiful bonsai.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I won't do a bunch of bending on this thing. I'll
Right.
just try to make get rid of some of the chaos,
Right.
which I kind of like anyway.
yeah.
And I'll keep this tree just as it is.
Yeah. That's very attractive to me. That
And even if that one doesn't make you to leave that on there for,
I might even just leave that in there and be a hunk of deadwood, because that's such a beautiful composition on its own. Character.
Yeah.
And normally the trees that have character are found on ridges and high altitude. Okay?
You don't have any.
Now, I look for places that have
Well, there are
granite
cats that live in the
or
neighborhood, but, they
shale that's
tend
running
to,
horizontal.
Want to do
That way, when the
water.
trees are growing on that shale or that rock structure,
Parents is the
the roots
biggest
go
challenge.
down
They
and
go
go
around
flat
to
out.
lose their poise
Okay,
from the
if the ground is
And that's why
uplifted
those
so it's
two
vertical
other
or they're like
white
this,
racks
then the
in
roots go this way and go
make the
down.
sides
You can't
steep
collect the tree because you want to get as many roots
If the heron gets in and gets
and
the
much
fish,
of the
it
native
has
soil
to
as you
be-
can
Have footing to get
when you
out.
bring the tree down.
So we think that the
The
reason.
more roots you can get,
We had one a year or so ago.
better off
and it
you
was
are.
funny because he
So
would be
the
gone
first
by
thing is you
8:15
find
in the
trees that
morning,
look
and I
cool.
was- Most days of the week I was gone.
then you're
till
looking
12
for
before
trees that are
And at
collectible.
8:15 in the morning,
Okay.
John Heron would be flying
The second thing that
overhead.
I found out, if you
And,
find one tree
so we
in
put
that
those
given
other
area,
two racks on there.
open your
We
eyes
thought
and
the
expand
stature of the grow would,
your vistas, because
would
normally
keep-
you'll find more.
keep them away, but
And the
it
trees in
didn't.
Idaho that I
And then when
collected,
we
they
put
all
those white
found
racks,
within
then he
35
decided
feet of
he
each other.
couldn't die down because
All right. This is,
Pumice.
and this is.
Just lime. That
you
happens to
can,
be
you can
black.
see how it's fasciculated a little bit. See there, like there's micro bubbles in it.
Yeah. Now there's also a red style. There's some red stuff down there. It was in a bag. So, and this is akadama.
Tell us about this.
Akadama actually comes from Japan. It is a volcanic clay. that's mined out of ancient cryptomeria forests. It is cryptomeria forest. But it's gone through a process where it's broken down, then solidified again. And
Was this by a natural process?
it's a natural process. And then they mine it, they sort it, and then they dry it. They may use heat to dry it, but not always. So sometimes it's sun. Okay. This soil thing is a system. It's not just one thing. It has to do with mixing the soil components and how you water and how you fertilize.
No pot of gold till the end of the rainbow.